A group of geologists from the Universities of Lagos and Ibadan, in collaboration with Cardiff University, the University of Aberdeen and the British Geological Survey, have called on the Lagos state government to consider engineered approaches to manage aquifer recharge and saline intrusion for a robust groundwater management system in the state. The recommendation was part of findings of the Love Lagos Love Groundwater project, undertaken to monitor the lifespan of groundwater using the commercial city as a descriptive model. Experts reveal that data gathered from the project could help address potential scarcity of water in the country, which citizens rely on for daily consumption. TV360's Sydney Okafor has more details in this report.
This stakeholders' engagement on the Lagos Groundwater Demonstrator was organized to deliberate on how to monitor and manage household water supplies using data due to the rapid population growth in the state. About 20 boreholes from different areas in the state, including Ikeja, Ikorodu, Agege, University of Lagos, and other locations were used in the preliminary test to generate data for the Love Lagos Love Groundwater project. The findings reveal that groundwater is abundant beneath much of Lagos, but its hydrology is relatively complex and remains poorly understood. Experts emphasize the need for data generation to monitor the rate at which groundwaters are being pumped, used, and supplied daily.
Groundwater is an invaluable resource that plays a critical role in our ecosystems. And I'm happy that Agriculture Ministry is also well represented here. And good enough is now linked with food safety. And urban water supplies is essential for our communities and for the economic development of our dear state. However, we all know what the numerous challenges are. We have over-abstraction on the one hand, we have over-dependence to pollution, to climate change impacts, and the list is endless.
Now, the major threats we have to groundwater globally would be, I'll class them maybe 3 or 4, and they all have to do with pollution. We have landfills in Lagos, so leachate from landfills. We have heavy industrial presence in Lagos, so industrial activity. It's even worse that our industrial zones, 14 of them, are very close to residential areas. The buffer zones have been closed up because of population explosion. Now, so it means that industrial effluents will make their way into groundwater.
Lagos is projected to become the world's largest city by 2100. However, the state faces water scarcity challenges common to other megacities of developing countries. To prevent this crisis, scholars at the event say the project is centered on enlightening the public, private bodies, and government agencies on proper water production to evade shortage of household consumption.
For Lagos to continuously be a successful city, a deliberate approach must be developed to monitor and manage the groundwater system on which the entire city is dependent. So you cannot love Lagos without loving the groundwater, otherwise where will Lagos be sustained if the groundwater is not available?
Lagos is quite unique in the extent to which it depends upon groundwater for its water supplies, and more particularly how important it is for the households who access that water directly. The challenge, of course, is when you have many thousands of households all doing their own thing. What does that mean for their water resource, for the groundwater? Is there a risk of over-abstraction? Is there a risk of contamination? I mean, these are the stories that we hear.
Meanwhile, recent data by the United States Agency for International Development shows that about 110 million Nigerians lack access to potable drinking water supply. Geologists trace this throwback to poor governance and regulatory framework in the country.
And the achievement so far is to build knowledge in terms of data. And as I said earlier, you have data. You have data. If you have data, data will generate you information. The information will give you knowledge. It is the knowledge that you can use to plan, to take decision at the political or policy level. And that is the importance of this project.
And you know, water is a factor of life. Therefore, for you to exist in Lagos, then you must take care of groundwater resource in Lagos.
Everybody use water, but sometimes, more often than not, nobody cares about what it's all about. Just use water. So data gathering, either in terms of quality, either in terms of quantity, more so with the groundwater in particular, is very, very necessary.
In their assertions, these experts have established that monitoring groundwater levels and quality in Nigeria is a priority. They charge the Lagos state government to initiate what it described as a big conversation to understand localized variations in groundwater quality, which is critical for future use and management. Sydney Okafo, TV 360, Lagos.